Welcome, everyone, back to another episode of Mommy Never Takes a Break. Today, we are on our second episode of a new series that I've just started called I'm a Bad Mom. And the reason I picked that title is because often we feel that feeling, whether it's early on in our motherhood journey or even later on, because let's face it, guilt just creeps its way in. And it's usually part of our own feelings of inadequacies. So, because of this particular topic, I did speak about my own journey in the very first episode. Oh, so this is technically number 3. Number 3, because, the first one was my journey. The second one, I spoke with Marissa, another mom, and she spoke about her own journey. And today we have another special guest, another mom that's gonna talk about her own journey. And she is gonna talk a little bit, probably a little bit before and a little bit after because she has an adult child and she is a newly grandma. So, you know, even with motherhood in general, when you become a grandma, there's things that go along with that too. So I'm gonna let her talk about that. Her name is Melissa, and today we have an in-house interview because usually I have them over Zoom, but today she graced me with her presence. So the first question, because I do have set questions for everybody, is just to tell us a little bit about yourself. Maybe something that you like to do, you know, what you do for a living, stuff like that.
Well, I do a living. I work at KFC and I work at fast food like everyone else, every other moms. Go working full-time job and everything. Even when I had my daughter young and everything, I had her at age 16 and I had her and everything. I was living with my parents. And anyone who have their kids young, it can be very much like a handful, becoming a new mom, trying to figure out the, how to be a mom, like the feeding every 4 hours, no diaper changing and everything. So that was like, also being hard. Also, when the instant when the baby not feeling good or what, you're like, when to call a doctor. When is like, okay, should I call a doctor when the kid not feel good or what?
So you spoke a little bit about how you had your daughter at a very young age. So the next question would be, when did you know you wanted to be a mom? So for you, you had such a young age. Was this planned? Was this not planned? Did you want to
Huh?
be a mom?
It wasn't not planned, but it's like, hey, it basically like, hey, I was a young age, I was in love and everything, and wasn't planned or anything. And so I just like, no, I got pregnant. I want to keep the baby and everything. And it was a blessing, keeping her and everything.
What challenges did you face?
More challenge I face is like being pregnant and make sure the baby was healthy. I want to make sure, like, okay, if I was, make sure as I was healthy and make sure I can carry through the 9 months plan, for her. Make sure, like, not being stressed out
Mm.
or anything, because when you stress out, it put a lot of trouble on the body and the baby itself and everything. And it's like, make sure plenty rest and eating healthy and everything for the term, like any mom.
Did you have any help?
Yes, I had my mom, I had my dad. They helped me through the pregnancy and after. Because I lived with them afterwards, so like up to my daughter was 8 months old. And they helped me with the formula, diapers, and everything, helping me taking care of the
So
baby.
did you feel any type of mom guilt in raising her?
Yes. There was plenty of like mom guilt, so like especially when the child not feeling good, you always feel guilt like what happened? What's going on? Or that she also had, like, even a rash or, like, how I not knowing what kind of rash or what. going on. And when she was like 1 years old, leaving her, going to work, working
Mhm.
full time and taking care of her, make sure she gets what she need, because I didn't stop working till she won, that way I can watch all the milestones she's going through.
Mm. Yeah, I think that's a big one that's can happen for people like working moms, just be having to leave your child, whether it's in daycare or with a family member or whatever. Like, even if it is like your mom, you still kind of like, oh, I want to be there. I don't want to miss anything. And, what if this happens and I'm not there on time or something like that? I know I feel like that. And I feel like that even like when it comes to like bigger things, like going away for the weekend with my spouse or something. Like, I don't wanna be too far away from my kids because I'm afraid of, something happening and I'm not there right on time to, be with them.
And us moms always playing the what if game. We always play that game. What case is something happen? What case this? What case that? You're
Mhm.
always playing the what if game.
Yes, definitely. Is there anything in particular that you think you struggled with the most?
When they get older, the preteen age, oh,
That's tough, yeah.
the headaches and everything. Especially when the girl getting their periods and all that, they get crabby and all that, and it's very, very hard, and it's
Mhm.
difficult. They think they run the world. They think they know it all. Oh my god, I don't miss those age at all.
Yeah.
There's plenty of arguments me and her get, especially I can always tell when that time of the month, boom, no one don't wanna be next to her, no one don't wanna be
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Uh,
I am not, anticipating the teen years whatsoever. I'm like right now I'm in the toddler, you know, K stage, but I think that's hard, but I know that teens is gonna be even harder.
oh, yes, they very much not want to, like they think they know it all, and,
Uh,
it's so, so, so hard.
it is definitely. So now that you've gone through pretty much all the stages of motherhood and your daughter is now in her 20s and now
30s.
30s? Oh, okay. She's in her 30s. I got that wrong. Uh, but she had just had a child of her own. So now you are a grandma. How is that going for you?
It's very good. Love to spoil them. It's great watching the other end. She gets to experience the crying, the baby.
Yeah.
She just got a new job. She working days. So speaking of tonight, me and my husband going to New Hampshire. That's where they live, and to babysit, entertain my grandson because they both learning. Mommy cannot be home all the time,
Mm,
and she can't be home all the time either. So it's
it's tough.
yeah, he keeps you on your toes very much.
Yeah.
Very, very.
But you're able to say, bye. You go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to
Been there, done that.
yeah.
That's so funny. How do you think your mindset has changed now? Now you're at the end of it,
Let
um,
me change it
compared to
from the
then?
journey, like working out, eating right, and everything. Because I wanted to do it the way I want to live a healthy, long life,
Yeah.
especially for any future grandchildren.
Yeah.
Well, this one.
You taking more good care of yourself.
And I want to like playing baseball with them. I want to run around. I don't want to like, oh, I can't, man, I don't feel good. I
I'm too old for
can't.
that.
Even though some days, like, I do feel like, oh, this kid make me feel old.
Yeah.
He have more energy than I do, and he's only a year old.
Yeah.
So yeah, he, no, it's great keeping health and feeling young and fitting clothes and everything. And
Definitely.
it's great that I could like playing with him, even going to a big giant playpen with him and playing with his toys. Not say, "Oh, I can't get in here. I can't." It's great, the feeling of it.
Yeah, that is good. And so I think we kind of touched on this, like, how do you take care of yourself in the midst of the craziness? You said you're, you know, eating better, right? You're
Yes.
going to
Eat
the
health,
gym.
going to the gym, and just getting up every morning. You're like, "Okay, gotta do it," and you feel great after you do it. And also, it's like, don't look at anyone progress like, okay, how come she's, doing like getting weight? So I can I why I'm this and like this. It's your own journey. And don't let like anyone judge you like, oh, you're getting too skinny. Oh, you're getting this. Don't let anyone judge you of it because no, this is your own journey. How you want to write your own story.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think you learned the most?
I learned the most is how to prep meals for myself for like, oh, I can prep this. Oh, I can eat this. I eat the same thing as Steph eat, like the low carb and stuff and keto and, learning how like, oh, I can make a fantastic meal and I can still eat the things I can eat,
Did you not do any of that kind of stuff when you had a little kid in the house?
had a little kid in the house, but she was a very, very picky eater. It's,
As they all are.
oh, yes. They're extremely picky eater and stuff like that, and yeah, and then you get picky at the time, you're like her father and everything, they're all picky, so, it's making something from scratch is good, but some things, they're healthy, but not like compare what they have out there now.
Yeah. So was your diet much different back then?
It was different.
Yeah.
It was like, different.
Mm. I know sometimes, like, I used to do this a lot more, but now that I've been on my healthy journey, it's- I used to eat my kids' leftover foods because they're picky. They don't eat it all.
Exactly.
And so you're like, not going to let this go to waste.
And when you hit the menopause age, you do end up gaining the weight, your body do change and everything else. So you want to eat healthy and fit, doing exercise, not you're gonna let menopause win over you.
Do you have any words of encouragement that you can give other moms listening? Maybe they're struggling. Maybe they're a young mom like you were.
Well, it comes to being patient and just listen and just slow down. You gotta
Mm,
just slow down and see like what they want. And for yourself, take time for yourself, even going in a room or somewhere, or take like a me day, or make
yeah.
your own stuff and having like a little spa in the tub and just listen, relaxation or meditation, and they'll also help too. And because you're going to wish, no, they were small again. You're going
Yeah.
to miss that instead of like screaming and yelling at them through the time, then you're gonna miss all the milestones or what going on.
Yeah. And like the reason I started this podcast was so that we can start thinking, like rewire the way we think about things. Because a lot of times the way we think is based on our situation. We're going through a stressful time, maybe we lost a job, maybe we're going through loss ourselves, whether it's a family member, your own child, your pregnancy. Those days can dramatically shape you.
Yeah.
Trauma shapes you. And as women, we go through a lot of trauma. It might not be that you lost someone, but maybe there's something where, you're in and out of homes. Maybe you don't have enough money. You're dealing with financial stress. I dealt with financial stress. The very first year of my marriage with my husband, we had to claim bankruptcy because we were in so much debt. And it got to the point where we had to move in with my parents because we just couldn't afford where we lived. And that was hard. That was really something hard to struggle with. And let me tell you, like the top three things that we all go through is some sort of financial strain, marital strain, or the way we care for ourselves. We often put that in the back burner because we feel like everyone else has to be taken care of first. And there's a reason they tell you in an airplane that you have to put your mask on first before you put on your child's, because if you're gone, like you lose oxygen, there's no one to help your child. So you have to be able to take care of yourself and then take care of the ones around you at 100%. You wouldn't be able to be at 100%. So it's so, so important. And to really be laser focused on how we manage our money. So important how we manage our money. That can make or break you. Let me tell you, it breaks marriages too. Communication in relationships, your own marriage, between your children, friendships. Super, super. I've lost friendships because of communication, big time. And it's because, either we were on the same page or we're too proud to accept our own mistakes. And I'm saying that right now. I was too proud at one point that I made a mistake and I didn't address it and I lost a friend. And so relationships and communication so, so important. And then taking care of yourself, eating the right foods, moving your body, feeling your best self, all these things. If we don't do our diligence to be hyper vigilant about those things that are precursors, like they happen to everybody. So you don't think like I'm the victim, I'm the only one going through this. Heck no. Heck no. I just told you I went through marital issues. I've been through financial issues, and I've been through a place where I've been in a state of depression and at my highest weight and feeling like I couldn't take care of myself. I've been through all of those. I'll tell you right now, it's difficult. It's so difficult, and I'm sure you can,
Yeah. I
say that
lost
you've
2
had some of those
parents.
stuff too.
I went through a divorce,
Mhm.
I went through, like, even separation with my child because of my
Yeah.
ex and stuff. Life is a roller coaster, and you can't have it knocking you down, and because no one won't take care of yourself unless you do it. Because your husband not gonna be taking care of the inside of you, like eating healthy and doing exercise and everything. And no one not gonna take care of you mentally, but you gotta do it yourself.
That's the thing. It's like you can have a network of support. Maybe your spouse is supportive of what you're doing, or your mom or your friend is supportive of what you're doing. But like at the end of the day, you're the one that has to do the work. They can't physically feed you. They can't physically move your arms and legs for you to move around. They can't physically do the daily tasks that you need to do. They can only be there for words of encouragement. That's as much as they could do. And I'm sure like there's ways to help. Like I've needed help with cleaning my house and taking the kids away for a little bit so I can have some time to myself. Like that kind of external help is great and is necessary. But again, at the end of the day, you have to be the one that's asking for help. Like there were times that I was too afraid to ask for help. We get into this bubble. We feel ashamed. We feel like, oh, if I ask for help, then that's an a vulnerability. That's an insecurity. People are gonna think that I can't do things. I can't raise my children. No, no, we all need help. We all need help. And even if you need even more help than that, like say you are at a state of depression or anxiety or something that's really getting you to a very low place, that you need even professional help. Like there is no shame in that. Had a conversation with a friend once, and she was talking about, marital issues. And she told me when I said, why don't you guys get professional help? Like see a counselor, you know, no. Why? Because my husband would never go for that. And I've talked to a couple of different people that have said that because it's what? Pride, shame, insecurities, feeling like, you know, they're not going to have your back. So what? So you don't get the help and then the problems never get resolved.
I see many people dealt with those kind of problems,
Yeah. And it's like, there's
and
really
especially
no
your own
shame. You're
family.
actually, I want to commend people that are actually take the steps to get professional help. I want to applaud you because you are actually doing something important to better yourself. It's so, so important. So I want to encourage if there's anything that you can take away today, like, yes, motherhood is hard. Yeah. And, you know, there's things that we all go through, different stages, whether you have a young child like my 2-year-old that's trying to attack my chest right now because she still nurses. I'm struggling with that and potty training her to maybe an older child or a teenager or an adult child. Let me tell you, there's a lot of moms that I know that are struggling with their adult children because maybe they have a mental illness themselves. Maybe they're in a rough patch and they're the ones that have to pick up the pieces. Like there's so many issues that we deal with. Like our job as a mom never ends.
No, it's never end.
Just because your child moved out of your house doesn't mean you stop being mom.
Even when they become adult and having their own life, you're still being a mom.
So, we have to do our diligence to equip ourselves and really protect our minds. But if anything if you could take away is don't have any pride. Don't feel like asking for help is you being insecure and you not being your best self. You are being your best self when you ask for help. You are being your best self or you could be the best mom possible when you can actually get the help and take time to yourself. I, for the longest time, never took time for myself. And boy, was I wrong. Like it's so, so important to actually just even have that mental decompression, because like I can get so overwhelmed with the kids screaming and crying or whatever. And my brain is like, turning to goo. I'm like, I can't even function anymore. But when I can just like have an hour, like even if I could leave the house, which I have to wait for my husband to be home for that, but I'll leave the house and I can have no money to spend, but I'll just go out and browse for the heck of it because it's just me being able to decompress and just take a deep breath, not feel
So
overwhelmed.
then just getting a cup of coffee or Dunkin' Donuts or something like that.
Yeah, it could be anything, anything.
Mhm.
So don't have any pride when it comes to asking for help and really take care of yourself. So, so important. And I'm telling you, it's going to do wonders for you and help you to be a better mom. If you're feeling like right now you're not a good mom and things are just in a rough place, get help and take some time for yourself. Those are the two big takeaways I want you to have for today. But that is the end of our episode today. I want to thank Melissa for being on with us today and sharing her experience and her story. And we will be back with another episode and another special guest sharing her story. Take care, everyone. Have a blessed day.